What is going on, everyone, and welcome to the Wiley's Scale Modeling Podcast. We are back for a month, for this month.
Episode 173.
Yeah. So
I didn't realize how many we did.
Yeah, I know.
Until we haven't been doing them. And now you get back to doing it, and then there's like, holy shit, we did 172 of these. And then you got... So technically, doing this one now, we're on year 4.
Is that how that works?
Yeah, more or less. We're actually past that.
Yeah.
Because, you figure, what? We did 52, so that's 150...
Well, our first episode
156... 52, let's just say every week. So it's like 52 times 3, 156. 3 years, a little over 3 years, 3.5 years. So we're working on getting on 4 almost.
Yeah, getting on it.
Getting on 4. Okay, anyways.
We started in 2017.
Okay. So we're 2021.
Around this time. So
Yeah, but it was about this time.
Yeah, because it was cold as shit in my back room on that little goddamn glass table I was sitting on.
I know, man.
So
Well, you were sitting on a glass table?
Well, I wasn't sitting on the glass table. Oh, it was tempered glass. It was strong. It was that glass table we got when we moved into the house. I'm pretty sure it was made out of the flooring from remember at Strawberry Square?
Yeah.
There was this glass. There was I remember when I was a kid, there was like a glass floor or something in one part of it. You ever walk through a mall or like a big shopping center and there's a really high floor? There's a really high glass floor and it's made out of that glass that is in squares.
Yeah.
And it's distorted. It looks like you're looking through a Coke bottle down through the floor. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yep.
Pretty sure that's what that table is made out of. Because
Mm-hmm.
you could drive a semi truck over it, but either way, I remember, and I was we had that little tiny microphone.
Yeah.
It sounded like we were talking through Coke cans to each other.
Right.
Well, in fact, I remember that comment. One of the first comments we got was, it sounded like the one guy said, it sounds like your dad's stuck in a Vietnam prison camp or something.
Mine was truly awful. Mine was truly awful, and I didn't have that. You bought that screen, the pop screen, for over my microphone. I didn't have one of them at first, and everything came out wrong, and
it sounded like you were standing in a hurricane.
I know, and my voice sometimes tends to.
That's what it was.
And everybody thought I was drunk all the time because I sometimes when I get wound up and excited and fast talking, my words will slur a little bit, just like that. And people were complaining, thinking that your dad's got to lay off the booze a little bit.
I mean, we had a couple beers.
And I'm like, I got one right now. This show wouldn't be complete if you didn't have one of them to start off.
Well, I'm drinking water, so really exciting.
Yeah, well.
But
I, as traditional as I wanted to be to come back to do this again, I thought I'd just grab a beer and have one here while the show's going on. Anyhow,
but so we're back. We didn't disappear too much. I will say
we were posting things and putting things up on our page and in the overtime. Yeah, for those of you who listen to us and haven't joined us on Facebook overtime. Send a request and I'll approve it. And just so long as I could tell that you're genuinely into modeling in some form.
Well, hopefully you are.
There'll be like 2 little questions.
Hopefully you are.
Answer and throw.
If you aren't really into modeling, you probably wouldn't be listening to this weird ass podcast.
Well, no, yeah, I understand that, but you wouldn't believe how many people try to join the show that probably don't model. Yeah. And I've had to turn them down because I wanted their. I can click on their name and go to the webpage and check out their profile real quick. And if it looks like that they have absolutely, truly no interest in that, I mean, I've seen some shady people try and get in. So
this is a side note. You know the paint palette that has 10 circles around a main bigger circle?
Yeah. That round one.
Yeah, and in the middle there's a big
well. Todd, it'll be a circle.
Yeah. The round one's a circle.
Okay.
That game when you were a kid, that little toy that you put the the shapes in the right hole.
Yeah.
My dad couldn't do that.
What? Yeah, I had a problem with like Perfection. That movie,
that game gave every
game,
child
Perfection?
Anxiety.
Yeah, you had to get the things in there before it popped up with boom,
It's
and
just
it shot
ticking
all
down.
over the room.
It's ticking down. It's ticking down. If you have, there's gonna be a commercial out in about 10 years that said if you played the game Perfection and you have a heart problem, you may be entitled to compensation.
If you had to go to therapy.
That game was Anxiety.
No kidding you.
But
yeah.
But anyways, back to what I was talking about. I just took my X-Acto knife and plucked the dried up paint out of the center of that thing, and it came up like it's at least a 1/4 inch thick. You could use it as a heat shield if you were like welding something.
Yeah, I still clean mine out all the time.
I did not. Obviously,
I haven't been using
some of my wells.
Some
of my wells in my pallets have so much paint that they're flat to the top of the pallet.
Well, I haven't been using the pallets so much as those little dish cups.
Oh yeah.
You ever see them? They're little white plastic dish cups. I get them over at Michael's. You get like 3 to a pack or 6 to a pack or something like that for $2, and I love them. I mean, they're bigger, and they have the little nipples all the way around.
Nipples.
Well, they're like little bumpy nipple things.
Nipples.
And then you put your paintbrush on the side, but it would never hold them because the paintbrush just fall. If you lean them on that, they just fall out. They fall out, and then like if you have a floor like mine, the paintbrush falls out, lands on the floor, and puts a big streak of paint on your floor.
Yeah.
So you don't do that. But I use this, and the same deal. I tend to leave the paint in them sometimes, but I clean them out. I have been using the little smaller palettes as much, and I've been using the palettes more whenever, like if I'm painting figures, those types of things, a vehicle, figures, or something that I'm going to have to use a lot of different colors for, then I start taking the palette out. Otherwise, I use these little dishes. They're nice. And just, stack them on one little stack, send them in the corner, and you have them all.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been using. I have some big palettes. So if anybody remember, I went to that palette fetish of mine. So if anybody's interested in one of these big ugly ass palettes, let me know. I got a couple I'll never use, but anyhow.
Hey, well, before we get too far into
I'm kidding. I'm not really going to send you a palette.
Before we get too far into all of this, there's a few new things we want to clear out here with this new format of podcast. We're going to do a monthly podcast, but it's not going to be on a set schedule each month. It's just going to come out once a month sometime. Right. So it's going to come out sometime during the month. Don't ask us when. It's just going to come out once a month.
Don't say, hey, when's it coming out?
Did I miss it?
Or where are you at? Why don't you? Is it coming out this week? Is it? We'll have it up. Don't worry. Have some faith in it.
There's 2 questions I will not answer when I'm asked what's up with the podcast.
Yeah.
Did I miss it? Or where are you at?
Yeah.
Or where is it? Because if you didn't see it yet, you didn't miss it because it didn't go up.
Right.
It'll go out once a month. That's the deal. All right.
Exactly.
Second thing is, I've been terrible with messaging and texts and emails, and Facebook Messenger. And I know some of you guys have messaged me. I have like 48 unread messenger messages on Facebook Messenger. I just checked. I have 1,800 unread emails. I'm not lying.
I don't doubt you.
1,800 unread emails, and just texting alone, I got 22 text messages sometime. I didn't even read them. So, if I didn't get back to you, it's not on purpose. It's just, well, it kind of is. I go on my phone and shit all day for work, and the last thing I want to do is come home and look at my email again or whatever. So I never check my personal email. I very rarely use Facebook anymore. So other than to post pictures on our page or whatever, a run thing. So that's it. I just want to clear the air with that. That's the new rules. I think my dad kind of feels the same sentiment.
I do. Yeah. If you have my email and you send me an email, I'm not going to answer. It's not to do. I sit on my, like all of you at work. If you work like we do with email every day, I email all day long with people I work with. And the last thing I want to do when I get home, when I see an email, I'm like, fuck it, I don't want to do it. So I'm not doing the emails.
Yeah.
So just letting you know, you won't get a response. It doesn't mean I don't care. It's not that I'm not
one
interested.
more rule. We're not bleeping anything anymore either.
That's right. That's done.
No more bleeping.
You get an F it.
There will be no more. There will never be a Patreon again. There will never be none of that. We're not doing any of that. We're not making it more than it should be. We're not doing anything else. We'll still have the overtime page for the Facebook.
We're gonna be talking about modeling and having a good time, man.
Yeah.
Yep. Some good laughs, and I think we already had a couple.
So. We have had a few. So I mean, we already talked about nipples. So
we did.
Yeah. It was weird. Oh,
that'll tie right into the model I'm building.
I want to talk about something real quick too that I'm now recently obsessed with. I ran out. So first of all, here's a sad story. This is sad. And I never told you this one. I ran out of toothpicks.
Yeah.
I had one toothpick left. Toothpick. So I would whittle down my toothpick to get a sharp point on it because I didn't want to go get...
You're shitting me. No, I really did that?
I kept forgetting to go get toothpicks. So I'd come back down to my workbench and I would go, oh, shit, forgot to get toothpicks again. So I would just take the toothpick I had. I think I still have it here. Yeah, I do.
Oh, my God. I'll bring you some boxes of toothpicks.
This gets to the rest of my story. It's not that I couldn't buy them. I just forget to buy them. So anyways,
okay. Gotcha.
I have this toothpick down here. It's like it's less than an inch long now. And it was like, I whittled the point down each time. And like when I couldn't pick the glue off, I would just sharpen it again. So I got this little micro toothpick that I was using for like 2 months.
Oh my God.
And so needless to say, I did get back to the store to buy more toothpicks. So don't worry, everybody. I had scraped up 69 cents in my bank account, and I went and got toothpicks. But when I was
oh my God,
when I was at the store, I got 2 boxes of round toothpicks, because it was payday,
right?
So I got 2, and then I saw the flat toothpicks,
right?
And I got a box of flat toothpicks. So now I'm up to 3 boxes of toothpicks.
Wow, you got plenty then.
I know. I took a loan out for the 3rd box, but but anyways, so I splurged. You gotta treat yourself sometimes, and
right.
when you're ready to treat yourself, you go get flat toothpicks. But the flat ones I love more than the round ones.
I don't. I have some flat ones if you want them.
I like them. I
hate them.
I like them for glue. Although the round toothpicks are nice because you can roll the glue.
Yeah, that's what I like. I can roll the glue. I love rolling glue.
But well, yeah. Some people roll other things, but Dad rolls glue.
That's right.
But yeah. So that's it. I got 3 new boxes. That's the most exciting thing of my week was I have new toothpicks.
Oh my gosh.
I don't have to use this. Dad, seriously, the one I was working with was like the length of my last knuckle of my finger.
Oh my gosh. That's unreal.
So when it got to the point where my finger was getting into...
I actually believe every second of what you're telling me because I know how you are as a person, and I know that you would be whittling down a single toothpick because you didn't have any more toothpicks and you just didn't run and get some more toothpicks. And I know how you are.
At the end of the day, it's like you're going home, and the last thing I'd be like, I really need toothpicks, but I'm already on the highway. I'll just go get toothpicks tomorrow, and then I never got toothpicks.
Right.
I just sent you a picture on Messenger of this toothpick. You gotta look at it. It's on your
Messenger.
Yeah. You're gonna laugh so hard when you see this. Wait till he opens it, guys.
Facebook Messenger.
Yeah, I just sent it.
Oh my God. You got to put that up on the photos when we put this up. Oh my God, that's so funny.
That's where it was. That's the point it got to.
That's too funny. Oh my gosh, you actually did that.
I used it for like 2 months. Anyways, hey, you know what though? Now I know when desperate times come around, I can model with one toothpick for at least 2 months.
Right. Well, we've been going for a while. So we're going to talk about things that we've been doing over this time. And I'm going to tell you one right off the bat, for me, a philosophy that's changed for me. In the past, we've always talked about how the things we build with, we love to build with wood, I love wood,
wood.
And I do, and I always said, well, we model making wood structures. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. I even a couple times that I knocked some of the plastic stuff out there. I no longer do that. I've built a plastic structure in this amount of time. It was a building that I brought down to your place. I had a lot of fun with that and made it look. It was a Walters building. It was the I can't remember. It was like a corner building thing I built. You could get online, you could see it, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I hand painted it. Every stinking little area of it has been repainted and made to look more. We need more brick structures, and we talked about that on the show in the past. The fact that we were trying to drive more brick structures into our diorama city. So I went with this. Some of these. I went down to the hobby shop that I love to go to, and that is Mainline Hobby and on Blue Ridge Summit in Pennsylvania. And they have everything. It's a great hobby shop, and I'm not ashamed to promote them without any provocation. They don't ask me to or anything else. I just love it. I've been to hobby shops up and down the East Coast. They're the best. They're the best I've been to. They have everything. They have scratch building supplies and everything else, but I bought some plastic kits. I have a couple more to build. I haven't done them yet, but I thoroughly enjoyed it, and it adds a different type of scenic look to the city. Yes, are they just plastic kits that anybody has on all their layouts? Yeah, a lot of them are. But if you paint them up and make them look good, they're very detailed. Some of them are very detailed. Anyways, I've been working in that type of medium as well as the wood now, and also some scratch building, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But scratch building not only with the wood like we've always done, but scratch building with styrene sheeting and styrene strips that you can buy as well at the hobby shops for scratch building, for making objects that you can't reproduce necessarily always with wood. So I've been having a lot of fun with the project I'm currently doing on, and I've done some of it in the past, but my outlook has changed for modeling now. It's not just about the wood. It's about making my diorama meet my vision. I want to make the diorama. You weren't even at that microphone, were you?
Yeah, I was sitting right here. I'm listening to you. Right
Oh, okay. Yeah, it sounded like you just came in from a distance.
Yeah,
but
no, I was here.
Yeah, but it's about making my diorama meet my vision, and if I can't always do that with a piece of clapboard wood and some wood strips, or a wood kit. It's changing now. The needs are changing. The needs are changing for our layout.
Yeah.
Which isn't really what I want to call it anymore. I thought about that a little bit. I don't necessarily want to call it a layout. It's more of a giant diorama, and I don't. We are coming to the point now where we have to custom make stuff to make it look the way we want it to look.
Yeah, I mean, there's some weird angles we got to hit, and there's some things we can't, like a kit. Well, I mean, we could buy a kit and modify it too, but we're gonna have to start doing those types of buildings to make things fit properly, because we've worked. It's not a grid type city, which most aren't.
Yeah,
and
it's all over the place.
It's very weird. There's some nooks and crannies. We're gonna have to custom build some stuff to fit the way we need it to. It's no longer about
roads at angles.
It's no longer about, well, that's a cool building. It's more about like, well, now what do I have to build to fit and fill this spot that we've now cornered ourselves into?
Yeah.
That's kind of what it is. We've cornered ourselves into like these weird last few spots that we got to fit things.
and it's working. It just takes some thought, and it's going to take some weird building angles to add the buildings in. And we're figuring out how to work with big structures and make little structures in tight against them or next to them, to where it maximizes the overall building style of detail with different levels and different eye. What would you call that?
Perspective
lines, different lines.
Yeah.
The roof lines are all different, and they come in angles and different elevations, and so our line of sight changes, because it's what we're trying to fit and tight as much as we can in a city where the small buildings complement the big buildings, and the big buildings don't overshadow the small buildings to take away the detail, those types of things. So yeah, I mean, we're to do that, everything can't be made out of wood,
right?
I mean, so,
yeah. Well, yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah, it makes it unique, and now I also think we need to start working on some really tiny buildings too.
Yeah,
like some small ones to just stick in random places.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so
yeah, I mean, it's fun.
What else have we been up to in the last 7 months or so?
Well, we were working on the layout quite a bit over the summer and the spring when we could.
Almost the whole top is now.
It's different.
Well, almost the whole top is now concrete too.
Yeah. It's a city. It's definitely looking like a city. Less of that green and pink foam, and more concrete and structures and scenery, that type of thing. It's starting to become alive. It's alive, but it's starting to get that. Yeah, when you're looking at it, you're like, oh, it's not really just green insulation foam,
Yeah.
So, which is good. I mean, and you did a lot of plaster work down there on your
the entire top
end, and that upper top.
The entire top is almost all plastered and ready for it's all concrete now,
sanded and ready to rock.
Yeah.
Now all we gotta do is add buildings and sidewalks and that type of thing, and vegetation, and and of course all the things that become a city. And we have those detailed parts. Now the main key isn't just going to be building the buildings and the small buildings that we just mentioned, but it's going to be painting, all the boxes and boxes and boxes of details that we have. Mailboxes and telephone poles and anything.
Yeah.
Fire hydrants and whatever, newsstands and all the people and cars and vehicles. We've been buying vehicles lately too, when we can.
Mm-hmm.
Vehicles are a big key, and we need to get that 3D printer cranking some more.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's that kind of thing.
The one cool thing I talked to my at work. We have a 3D scanner, so we're gonna start to actually scan some objects and 3D print like more of the same object. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that'll be fun. We can replicate some things we've already done and make more of it, like some scratch build things and things like that.
Absolutely.
But yeah. What else have we been working on?
We got some trees. Your mom made trees. I don't know if we talked about that last time or not.
I don't know if we have. It's been a while.
Well, I think on that last one we came in, we did one like midsummer or something like that.
Yep.
And I think we talked a little bit about that. Yeah, but we brought my wife down there and she made all those super trees, and she went like a demon on them. They're still hanging down there from a clothesline, and there's a million trees. They're ready to go. I mean, we're ready to stick them babies right into our diorama. So that's coming along. The waterfront on your end is looking amazing.
Thanks.
You did a lot of work down there. The details are coming out on it now. You're starting to add a lot of the smaller detail stuff to it. You of course did a great job with the building placement on that.
Mm-hmm.
And we're getting to the point where we'll soon be photo shareable ready, you know? And then I worked on my end of the other end of the harbor, around the top part where the mill sits above it. And you saw some of the photos I shared up there, and I did some pipes that come out of the side of the dam that's at the mill and unleashes water into the actual harbor. And it looks really, the water turned out awesome with that. So we had that. We have a little small stream on the other side of that that's working a little bit, and I'm still got some more to do on that yet, but that's coming along. So, and we redid the road. We had a dirt road that ran down there, and that's all sanded down, and we're ready to get going with that one as well. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Roads are our next thing, I think.
Yeah. Well, and that's why I did all that plaster work.
Right.
So.
Right.
Yeah.
We're talking about underground.
Oh yeah, on the back end.
On the back side, we have this one on top of the
It's
foam.
a weird area.
Well, because the train goes in underneath the foam, obviously, and it's like a tunnel. But then it comes out another spot on the far end of the layout. So it's a long, I'd say, a good, maybe 7-foot stretch. It's under foam, underground, maybe 6.
Yeah.
And it's definitely open on the one side. So when you look under, it looks almost like a subway underneath. And I've seen some recently on Facebook, some people that have been doing some shit with their trains where they made like an underground subway station. Mm-hmm. And so we're thinking about doing something along that lines, anyways. And leaving it exposed. I've seen that also when we went up to George Celios's. When you first walk into the entrance of his layout, you'll see on the back side there, when you first walk in the door, there's some subway type things there, or back alley type displays, which are kind of cool. So it's going to run along that lines, I think.
Yeah. Well, and it's such a weird part of our layout because it's exposed underground and the track is almost to the edge.
Yeah.
So we can't enclose it. And actually, if we enclose it, it's going to make it harder to access any train that runs through it if it derails or has an issue.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
It's
absolutely.
It's going to be. It'll be cool. We just have to get some wall. Really, it's going to be pretty easy because we just got to get some walls behind it and put ballast and stuff down.
Yeah, I think it'll be kind of fun. Put some lights in there, put some LEDs in, and that should look pretty cool, I think.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's going to be. It'll be interesting. And we could always throw some hobos and stuff down there too. Some derelict.
Yeah, exactly.
Tunnel people. Get away from my tunnel.
I'm a tunnel person.
Yeah, like little tunnel people.
My precious. Yeah. But I mean that'll be kind of fun. I'm looking forward to the layouts coming along. The diorama. Okay, I gotta keep catching myself. I'll train myself like I've done in the past, but like I said, and we have the train. Yes, the train's there, but it's not a layout unless you want to consider a one full circle with a
figure eight
with a figure eight. Basically, it's basically a figure eight, high and low.
Not even high. The top just ends into a yard.
Top ends. Yeah, right. It's just a train yard. Yeah. So I mean it's not really even a layout if you want to consider that. It's just something that's non-static to the diorama. Mm-hmm. That's what, and it's a train,
Yeah.
But that's cool because now I don't have to focus on. Yes, we'll have nice track. Yes, we'll have a train that looks nice on it. However, it won't be our primary focus of that being, the full operational thing. Who cares?
Right.
It's not for us. Not for us.
Yeah.
So, but anyhow, that's it there. As far as modeling goes, it's been pretty cool. I did some kit stuff, and I got to say,
done a few builds.
A couple builds that I've done, and and I've been working with some kits. I even kit bashed some stuff, took some old kits and things and threw them together. I gotta say, on some of these kits lately, there's been stuff missing parts missing, low quality cutting that's been done. And I won't get into any details of whose or what, because like I said, I've been mixing them up a little bit for things that I'm built. But it's a combination of several. And, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, maybe before you send these kits out for us to purchase and do and all, and even the one plastic kit was missing a piece.
Yeah, they all do it.
Make sure your shit's together.
Yeah.
Make sure it's good. I mean, there's nothing more disappointing to me when I see it and it's not quality or it's not good or your directions suck. Because I've seen some of it lately, and sometimes I wonder if we're pumping out kits in a fast pace just so we can, and we're forgetting what made them great.
Yeah.
So that's just something I'm throwing out there right now.
I
call it what it is.
I know what you mean.
But luckily, if you're a good modeler, you'll say, you know what, I can fix that. But you shouldn't have to.
Right. Right.
Don't omit stuff in your directions. Don't let the builder build it and go, oh, you know what? They're builders, so they'll know how to do it.
Yeah.
No. Screw that shit. You put that in there, because I don't want to sit there for half a day going, what the fuck do I got to do to make this right?
Yeah. Now I shouldn't
have to do that. Right. I mean, yeah, I'll fix it, but I shouldn't have to sit there for a few hours sitting there going, what am I going to do here? No, yeah. I want to build it, right?
Yeah.
So if I wanted to scratch build it, I just scratch build it. If I wanted to bash it, I kit bash it. But if I want to buy a kit and make the kit, make the shit right.
Mm-hmm.
So.
No, I agree. So, I mean, we've been building a bunch. I'm building this. It's the big ass Carolina Craftsman kit. It was like the Criswick Pencil Factory and Wiley's Paper Mill and 3 buildings in one.
That's a hell of a nice kit.
I'm wrapping that one up. But in between there, I was doing some other little ones too and doing some layout work.
That's looking sweet. That one looks sweet.
It's taken a little bit of time, but I've been bouncing between it,
Yeah.
So got that going. Got the new kit of the month as well. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Right.
What else? Oh, I want to do the new Seaport. Well, it's not new. It's been down here for a while. But the one tugboat.
Oh, yeah. I got some of them, too.
So I think after I do clean up some of these little leftovers on some of these projects, I'm going to do that tugboat.
Yeah. Right.
So that's coming along.
I want to hit on Atlas Gorge. That's one of the things I got to get on.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
But... yeah, I mean, we've been pretty busy with a lot of these things. A lot of mine's like scattered between the workbench and the layout itself because we've had some extra time,
right?
Not doing the podcast as much to get some other work done.
Right.
But
and that's kind of what is one of our purposes too.
Yeah,
is so we can actually start building and doing the things that we like and want to do. Not that we didn't like doing it for you people making a podcast. We did. Okay, it's just that we want to build our own shit. I want to build my own damn thing, and spend time doing that, not have to sit and worry about, what we're going to talk about on the podcast every night and, and whatever. And you know what? I was thinking about that. I can get some guests. There's a couple guests I might get on here and we'll throw them in here now and then. But, like I said, once a month, So,
yeah.
Yeah. So what you're working at Wiley's and Criswick Pencil? What the hell is that kit called?
I think it's like the Wiley's Paper Mill. Wiley and Sons.
Okay, the paper mill thing. That's the CCK. That's really nice.
Yeah, it's a big kit too.
Yeah,
so
that's a big kit. He still has that for sale up there.
And I actually turned the one building is a background building, so the back it's only the half.
You're making a full size building.
I had some extra board and batten type siding, and
I have more of that if you need it.
I have plenty, and I cut it to make it a full depth kit, full depth building. So that'll be
nice.
That'll be cool. It completes that backside of that building.
Isn't it fun to do that?
Yeah. In fact, the new kit of the month is a background kit.
Uh-huh.
So I'm either going to use it as a background kit or since it's 3 walls, attach it to another building like as an addition.
That's a good idea. I actually have some background buildings up here that are Kid of the Month, and I'm gonna have to do that as well. That's not a bad idea. In fact, I'll get to that when you're done on yours. But
I was just saying you can either use them as a background. I mean, you can either extend them into a full building, or if it works with another building you have, you could butt it up against one of them as an add-on.
True.
And then you're making another building even bigger.
Right.
So, and it doesn't even have to be, if it's a clapboard siding or a board and batten siding, it doesn't have to be on another clapboard or board and batten building. You could put it up against a brick building and have a wood addition, or you could, you don't have to match the same style wall. You can, especially if it's an addition, it could be any type,
Yeah.
Definitely mix the wall types up.
Yeah, I mean, you could do clapboard siding with a brick wall, know, or a stone wall. And you can just go to Jason Jensen Trains and check out some of the ones he's done where he's added stone walls and such. And some of you modelers that are out there, I am seeing, by the way, an influx of an incredible amount of beautiful, beautiful work being done by many modelers that I saw. And don't take this in the wrong way, please. I saw several years back that were just getting started and their stuff wasn't as refined or as nice. And now I'm seeing this stuff coming out from these same people and it's looking real, real sharp. I mean, beautiful stuff.
Yeah.
That's coming out. People putting a lot of thought into it and getting better. And I won't name any names per se, but just as a prime example, we had, no, I said I wasn't going to name any names. I'm not naming any names. But, it's just, I've seen people that started out and they were getting into it and their stuff looked okay. But now it doesn't look okay anymore. It's looking awesome.
Yeah,
and I'm
stepped
seeing
it up.
and I'm seeing people that are making awesome stuff step into different directions that they haven't stepped in before. I left. I took a couple months and I worked at military diorama with the tank and the city. Now I see Jason's doing one and James is doing one as well. Those two guys from that podcast, and now they're building the tank thing with their structure, and it looks great. And I love to see somebody step out of there and try something
new.
Try something
different
that they haven't done before.
Yeah,
and it's so much fun. I'm going to build another one. By the way, I'm doing another damn military thing for sure. There's a couple of little things I want to try now in modeling, and that's one of them. I mean, that's not just one of them. I recently turned. I'm bouncing around, aren't I?
That's okay.
I recently a guy I used to work with. Well, I work with him. I mean, a guy I work with who. He carves wood and he's a wood maker. He's a woodworker. He's a woodworker. He makes wood.
We don't need to go there.
Anyhow, but he's a woodworker. He doesn't our business isn't woodworking. He works with me, but when he goes home, his hobby has been woodworking. He hand carves ornate framework, chests and boxes and shelving and wall art. It's beautiful. And he saw some of the stuff that I was checking out one day as far as my modeling and some of your guys' modeling. I showed him some photos of some of the stuff you guys have done and some of the things many things that I have done. And then I showed him that I took that military model I built and it's sitting at work on my desk. On my shelf behind my desk, and it's just a nice decorative office piece. It's a good because I work around military people. It's a very good conversation piece, and so he checked it out and he thought that was fascinating, and he has gotten into. I showed him Jason's site where he does the Star Wars fantasy Star Wars stuff that Jason makes out of coffee cans and everything else and makes them look like a real movie set. He's like the MacGyver of the trash can. He takes all the stuff out of his trash and he makes it into some kind of incredible thing that you would see on a movie set.
Yeah.
Okay. And I showed him this stuff and he's like, oh, that's amazing. So now he's doing that. He's making his own. And because he has this artistic vision with working with hand carving wood, he's very, for a guy that's just beginning on this, it's very, very, very talented. And he's a Star Wars guy. He loves a Star Wars. So he's doing a Star Wars thing as well.
Nice.
And over in Union, off the Union Deposit exit, there is a store where it's a gaming store mainly where they sell, but they sell the stuff for gamers to paint figures and their own gaming dioramas and things like that. So they have various paints and tools and things like that they sell in there. We went over one time on our lunch break and checked it out, and he went apeshit in there and sold and bought a whole mess of stuff. And I turned him away from buying some other things just based on my experience of things that you wouldn't need for modeling.
Well,
but
you learn that
you have to have.
You learn that some of those things aren't necessities.
Yeah, and I gave him some other options.
Well, they're cool.
Be much less expensive.
They're cool to start with, and then you're like, I'm never going to use that again.
Right. Well, he's doing, like I said, he's into that.
Yeah.
So, oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying when you do more of that stuff, you learn that there's things you don't need.
Yeah.
We've done that.
And I love the fact that he's doing this. He loves to do it, and he's having fun with it, and he's very good at it, and it was fun to watch him just get the spark, and he'd come into work every day and we talk for like 5 minutes before we get back to our desks and do our thing. And he would talk about, what he did that night at his workbench. And, you could see that spark in his eye, and you were like, wow, this guy's like, he really loves doing this.
Yeah.
And it was, even though it's not the same modeling that we do, but it was,
it's cool to see that creativeness.
It's still fine scale model, and so it was really neat to see that. And he'll come in sometimes and ask questions, or he'll say, he'll be looking for some scenery ideas for a diorama that he's building. It has like cliffs and everything else on it, and so I've recommended some of the videos and things that I've seen on YouTube on it, and I'll give him some ideas, and he's now come up with a couple of techniques and things that he's done with things that he's shown me. And so it's pretty cool. I love to see new people get into something like that. So if you can encourage somebody, and if they come to you and ask you, hey, how can I do this? Or what can you show me to get me started? Do it. Don't do everything you can to help them, and then sit back and enjoy and watch to see, the creativity they may have, even if it's raw,
right.
Just, get to where you're helping somebody. And it's not so much a me feel good thing. It's more of it's neat to see somebody enjoy modeling like we would.
Right.
Yeah.
So, you're watching that creative spark with someone.
Yeah. And there's, like I said, on Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that, I'm seeing some amazing stuff. Check out Kathy Millett's Facebook page, or not her Facebook, or YouTube, and check out some of the work that she's been doing. She's combining everything. Brett, I don't know if you checked her stuff out lately.
I haven't in a little bit.
Oh my gosh, it's sci-fi, it's water, it's 3D printing, it's lights and different optics and things that she's using for special effects, and it's insane modeling right now that she's doing. Please do yourself a favor, check out Kathy Millett on Facebook. She has, I'm on Facebook, on Instagram, and on YouTube, and you will find her work right now. There is somebody who we saw start out with model railroading, which she still does, and now has blossomed into like 8 or 9 different types of modeling that I can see recently.
Right.
And it's off the chart stuff.
It is.
There's Star Wars stuff. There's everything. She's got it all going on. and it's great to see it. Jason, like I said, he stepped into doing this military diorama, and I'm watching it progress. So it's good to see that, and I'm glad. I told him when we were building ours how much fun I was having, and I said you got to try a tank sometime. So now I guess he's doing it. I hope you're getting as much satisfaction out of it as I got, because it was a lot of fun.
I had a blast with mine too. So
yeah, you did too.
That was another thing I think I finished up since we did the podcast last.
Yes, you did.
So I just have to paint the people, but I mean I can add those anytime.
Right. Yeah, I mean it's and that's awesome. I mean it turned out great. It's neat to see that. Jake Johnson's got a lot of nice stuff out there right now that he's been popping up, and he's got the HO Carrollwood barn that he's built that he had before in the O scale. It's an HO. I think it's the second run of that now that he's selling. It's a really cool barn. I would love to do an HO scale barn right now, but for our city, I just don't see where we're gonna put it.
Yeah,
I would love to have it, and at some point, I'd like to just get one and maybe do it for a shelf diorama in some form. But yeah, the Carrollwood barn, he has that. It's a Disney barn. Him and Dave Meek, and Dave Meek's got some things working modeling wise on his Western Sierra Western style model he does. It's beautiful work that he's been putting out. So yeah, get on, check him out. Yeah, always work on trying to improve or try and do something more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
definitely.
My what I got on my bench now, you want that?
Yeah, let's do that next.
You sure?
Yeah.
Do you have something you want to share?
No, I'll share what's on my bench then.
Okay, that's cool. You want to go first?
Sure. So
yeah, I've been talking like a crazy man lately.
I know. Well, like I said, I'm in the middle of like 3 different things. The one is the paper mill that I talked to you about. I'm doing a small, very small, simple scratch build. It's just an odd shaped building that is going to fit, like we talked about earlier, into like a wedge area. But all I've done with that is cut the walls out and painter's tape it together to mock fit it. So that's really where it sits right now. Not too much farther. And then I have a pile of little castings and detail parts that I'm going to paint up here and just start spreading around down on this bottom waterfront area, because it needs.
Oh yeah.
I just want to load it up with barrels and tanks and weird, odd little pieces of junk along the edge of the waterfront. Just.
Well, you got piles of it. I know that.
Yeah, so I've been painting them. I've been painting a bunch of them, just getting ready to glue them down into the city. But other than that, I mean, it's really just a hodgepodge of like multiple projects,
Yeah.
So that's really what I have on my bench. It's not very organized because I'm in the middle of like 1,000 things at once,
Right.
So that's really it. I mainly just a pile of detail parts is like my main motivation right now, because I know we need to do so many.
Yeah.
What about you?
Well, it's a project. It's going to be my winter project, and it's called Wrong Side of the Tracks.
Okay. This is incredible.
It's based off of and the inspiration. I'm not going to lie to you. The inspiration to it is a kit that is a big kit that is sold by Fosco Models. And that is the red light district.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say it's not loosely based on that, because it is. I looked at it. It's one of those kits that I've looked at many times and said, oh, you know what? I'd love to have that, but it's a whole block full of buildings, and, where are we going to fit it and everything else? And I don't know if I had the time. I got all these other buildings and things I got to make. And I never got that kit. Okay. Now he still sells it. Okay. But it's Christmas time, and I got grandkids and stuff to buy for. And, I had Christmas presents to buy and things like that. And I really didn't want to plunk down $385 yet. And it's not just that. I've seen it built by many other people. It's a great kit. And even in the back of my head now is still saying, go get that. Okay. But I wanted to change it up a little bit and make something different and maybe kind of base it on that. Mine's going to be a little different. I'm still going to do the burlesque building with the different theaters and such like that. The shady type naked dancing girl places and the red light district style. Because there is red light districts in most every city. Okay. Case in point, I'm kind of basing it on things I've seen with his, but then in a mix with the photos and things I have from the old red light district in Baltimore. Okay, there's a street down there in Baltimore where it's been there for ages and ages, and some of the buildings are still there where they do the same thing. It's just like, peep show places and seedy stuff.
Yeah, it's
not
where you take the family.
Right, dancing girls and things like that. And I watched this TV series recently, an old HBO TV series called Boardwalk Empire. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And, many of you maybe have seen it, I'm sure. But I just now watched the whole thing. I binge watched it the last couple months ago and, I loved it, but a lot of it was set in the late 1910s, like 1918 and through Prohibition. Okay. Into the 1930s. And it had the gang. It's mainly based on gangsters and things, but it's on Atlantic City.
Yeah.
And a lot of the Atlantic City boardwalk area look like some of the storefronts and things that you see on some of these things, same things. So some of those ideas are mixed into this thought process of this diorama that I'm building. It's going to be a whole city block. It's going to have like 7. Right now I'm focusing on 6 or 7 buildings that'll on the front side, and then I'm going to have some on the rear side that are smaller buildings, smaller structures that'll be back up against the backside of the front of this main city street, this seedy area, the wrong side of the tracks. And it's not all like this first building I'm doing has the Clover Burlesque Theater, which is in Baltimore. And it was in Baltimore. And I have photos from it, and I tried to duplicate it as much as I could. The storefront, the whole works with even the lettering of the signs. I made the signs all on my graphics program on my laptop. Went out and got some really good paper to work with to print the different signs and lettering and things I typed out.
Right.
Or have made. Some of the letters are made of wood that I've made out of chipboard that I've actually carved the Clover. I cut cut them out of chipboard with the X-Acto knife, using an overlay, that type of thing to get the letters just right. It has that. It has a Peeporama, with another theater that's right next to it, all in the same building. And then on the right is Lou's Liquor. It's a liquor store. And I handmade all of these pieces, with different pieces of scrap wood, or with I did put some titchy doors on the front. I went to the Mainline Hobby and bought some doors that I wanted on the front theater, the Peeporama. I made the actual overhang of both the Clover and the Peeporama. They're the marquees that go over to, like a theater marquee that's over a sidewalk.
Right.
Above. And I made those marquees out of the styrene plastic. And I cut them to the pieces I needed and fit them all together. And then I attached the overall. Once I finished the marquee, I attached it to the side of the building after it's been painted and readied and everything. They turned out really nice. I think they did. I made little white and yellow lights on the Clover out of beads. The little itty bitty tiny jewelry beads.
The glass ones.
No, they're not glass. They're just plastic. Well, no, they are glass. They say glass on them. White and yellows. And I used them, and I put the whites and yellows on, and I put them so the holes are facing to where you don't see them at an angle. And I glued them on. It was bitch to do, by the way.
Yeah.
But I had fun doing it. This is a clapboard. The first building here is a clapboard building. I put like on the side of the building. I had some fun with the signage on that one. There is a full-scale 2-story cutout of a burlesque girl in a skimpy outfit with her legs showing, and I named her Kitty Sparkles, and I made a sign that says Kitty Sparkles live nightly feature above her head, and she takes up the one wall. So it's going to be this side that this building is going to be on the corner. It has a staircase, enclosed staircase. It goes up to this little jut out on the side that she's attached to. And then I put some signs underneath with arrows. And the one arrow, I played a little play on words. In the black lettering with the black arrow, it says liquor in the front, because there's a liquor store in the front. If you go around the corner, so if you follow the arrow around the front, it says liquor, liquor store, liquor in the front, and then poker in the rear is the other one going the other direction.
Use your imagination.
To the rear of the building, yes. And then I made a little poker room, even though you wouldn't have that because you can't even back in the day there was no advertised poker available, but it's a poker room. And it's called Nice Pair Poker, and it has 2 aces above the door or above the sign, and it just turned out cool. I like that. I put a little on the door, a sign that says "Beware poker players and loose women." It's just a CD building. It's cool. Put little movie posters that I actually found online. From they were actual color movie posters. Well, not movie posters, but burlesque posters and things like that from dances and topless dancing places, and I shrunk them down and stuck them on and give them on the front of these theater areas. I had a lot of fun with that. So that's just one building. So the next building will be another theater. I had that one I'm working with. Mm-hmm. Then I have I'm going to try different things, but it's not just going to be that. I will have a pawn shop, and it's going to be just a CD section.
Right.
Now, but it's not just going to be that. It's going to be a struggle of the neighborhood. So I'm going to have a mission, okay? A guy on the front. We're going to have nuns out front walking on the sidewalk that are going to be protesting these things. I'm going to get some H.O. Skill Prizer nuns. We're going to put them on there. And I'm also going to add a guy on a box with a Bible in his hand, and he's going to be preaching on the corner, and maybe some people with protest signs, and then I'll have some hookers and ladies of the night, whatever you want to call them, or whores.
Oh my God, we get it.
Okay, and they're going to be along the front, like some winos and drunks and perverts looking in the windows and that type of thing, right? So I'm going to do the whole thing. And then I'm going to put a church. I'll put a church smack dab in the middle of this thing.
Why not?
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. A city church. We're going to put a city church, and nuns will be out there too. I'm going to, on the step of the church, I'm going to have I already found the church I want to use, the city church I want to use. And then on the step, I'm going to have a prostitute on the step leaning on the rail of the church.
It's gonna be a scene.
But yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a struggle. I might have 2 guys fist fighting. I don't know. And then the backside is gonna be like the alley you don't want to go down at night. That kind of thing. Okay, so but it's gonna be. There'll be like I said, there'll be the church, the mission. I got to find some other things that would actually work in that situation to balance it. So it'll be like half good and half bad. And they're fighting for that block, So that's kind of what I'm working with.
It's gonna be
a long project.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a lot of fun, and we're gonna drop it right down to our layout at some point. I don't know where, but we'll find a spot, and we're gonna fit this thing into our layout at some point. So I'm trying to make it taste. It's not gonna be on. I mean, there's gonna be some billboards with scantily clad women on the billboards advertising some of these things, right? But then on the next building, there may be a building on the mission building saying, repent and pray to Jesus, that kind of thing, right?
Right.
But I'm not going to make it. I don't want to make it. I kind of want to do like Doug did with his kit that's available. Okay. And if you don't want to go to the extremes that I'm going to, please go out and buy his kit. Right. It is pretty cool. Okay. But what I'm saying is, I want to do like he did. I want to follow in his steps in this regard. This is one of the reasons why I like it. It is seedy, but, and I hate to use the word tasteful, but it's not going to be untasteful.
Right.
You know, I don't want to, yeah, there's going to be plays on words like I just did, but it's going to have a meaning to it. So
right.
It's going to have a dual meaning. So, it's not going to be, I don't want it to be naked women all over it. I want them to be scantily clad from way back in the day.
Yeah.
Right? That kind of thing. Pinup type, So I don't want it to be that. I don't want people to go, I want people going, Todd's a freaking pervert, right? No, I want to make this kit to where it represents a section of a town that you might find in any town. And then the struggle you would have with the people that run the town, There might be, we'll check it all out.
That's gonna be good.
It'll be fun. I'm having fun with it. I'm having a lot of fun because I get home from work now. I don't usually do this. When I get home from work, usually I get home from work, do a couple things around the house, and then I kind of plop down before dinner and eat dinner, and then I'll come in here and do some work. Now I'm coming home from work, and I'm doing a couple little things quick, take the dog out, and I get down to my shop, and I start working.
Right.
Yeah. Because I'm having a lot of fun with it. So.
No, it's great.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
All right.
No, I'm excited to see how it turns out too. So.
Yeah. But.
Awesome. Well.
Yes. It was something I wanted to share tool-wise.
All right. Well, we'll do that, and then we'll wrap up for the evening because we're hitting our hour mark.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
It's 10 o'clock.
Right.
So.
Yes. I understand that.
No, you're good.
But yeah, this building here is all clapboard, but some of the other buildings are going to be brick style buildings.
Right.
Be in between them and that type of thing. So it's going to be a mix of different types of buildings. It'll be cool.
No, it's going to be, I can't wait to see how it turns out.
Where is, what was I going to talk about? There was some kind of tool I had. I saw it the other night. I was going to talk about it. And anyways, I don't have it. I'll have it for next time
we'll
we
do
do
it next
this.
time. You have a month.
I mean, yeah.
You have a month to find it.
Right, exactly. And I had fun tonight. It was good to get back and doing some of this. And
and then the Friday night you're going to be down here working. So
I am. Yeah. We'll try and start sharing more photos now of some of the work that we're doing down there.
Yeah.
I think we're going to start posting up more photos of our finished work and letting you see how the layout's coming along in a detail form, not the unfinished foam green stuff. Okay, but. We're going to start sharing more and more photos, and
right.
I think we're getting to that point where we can do that. So, I'll be down there Friday night. We're going to have a good time.
It's going to be great. All right, guys. Well, do you have anything else?
No, I don't.
All right. Well,
like I said, at least we're coming back here and having a little fun.
Yeah.
And we still love this hobby, people. We just love doing it for us too.
Yep.
So, yep.
Definitely. But all right, guys. Well, hey, hope you had a great Thanksgiving. I hope you have a happy Hanukkah, a happy whatever you celebrate, Christmas, you name it, all the holidays, whatever you do it.
Yep.
So,
Merry Christmas, all.
Have a Merry Christmas. We will, we'll be around. Look for some pictures. Next month, we'll have some more fun shit to talk about. And until then, we are signing off.
Peace out.